Peace and blessings. So I have people that ask me when I teach meditation, what do you do when you have these persistent thoughts? It could be the same thought that, you're ruminating about over and over again. And of course, I say, well, meditation is the perfect practice for it because it allows you to become aware of it, right? And the key part of all of it is that, when you continuously have a thought and you give it attention, it becomes a thought form, meaning it appears in your life. It appears in your life. And that's a spiritual law. And then write this down if you need it, that a lie or a discordant thought or belief about yourself or anything, it will operate as a law in your life until you identify it and then you neutralize it, right? So a lie or a discordant thought that you believe will operate as a law in your life until you identify it and you neutralize it, right? And of course, like I said, meditation is fantastic practice to allow you to become aware of it because at a subatomic level, when you observe something, if you look at it, what you are observing, you're changing just by witnessing it, right? And so that's a beginning practice that people can use to help, when you have a thought that is just constantly just playing out in your mind, and then it's creating experiences in your life, right? Just sitting down and observing it is one way to do it. But then also there's another way that my ancestors that gave me just a loving way to take that thought that is oftentimes based in fear and bring it into love. And I'll share with you how I came across this way of approaching it. One night I'm laying in my bed and my grandmother, as she normally does, when I call on her or when she needs to communicate or teach me something, she comes to my bedside and she says, Dreyfus, I want you to come with me. And she takes me back to a time when I was a little boy. And I remember in this experience with her, she takes me back to her house, and they had a room in there. It was a living room, right? And the living room had these tall white wooden doors, and it had this woodwork all around it and like a glass handle, doorknob. And I was like, oh, Mom, this is the living room. She said, yeah, it was the living room. She said, but for you, this is the loving room. I was like, okay, the loving room. And she opened the door, and we go into the room, and all of the sentimentality of that room when I was a little boy came back. And I start looking around the room, and I see, this is back in the day, so she had the sofa with the plastic on it so nobody would mess up the new couch. She had the recliner, she had the TV, the grandfather clock in the back, the coffee tables and the end tables, all of these things were there. And she said, this is a room of love. And she reminded me that when we were little kids, we would be so happy when guests came over that she would take them into the living room and, they would have grown folks conversations. So we'd take them into the living room, she'd welcome them in, and they would close the door. And, all the grandkids, we would be outside and be like, shh, Mom and Papa got company. They got guests over. And she reminded me of that. And she said, I want you to do the same thing with those discordant thoughts. I want you to bring them into your loving room. Welcome them as guests. Welcome them as guests. Offer them a seat. Commune with them. See them. And then I want you to offer them the way we offered a drink, a beverage, a refreshment, a snack. I want you to offer them the opposite. So it's a thought about not being enough or not having enough or being fearful. I want you to offer them a thought of you being perfect, of you being whole, of you being complete, of you being wealthy, healthy, prosperous, intelligent, creative. Whatever that thought is, I want you to witness it. I want you to welcome it in. I want you to witness it. And then I want you to offer it an opposite. And so that is the technology that we can use. And she said, after you get done offering an opposite, like you do with every guest, you thank them for coming by. But in this instance, I want you to thank that thought for coming by and then stand up and embrace it. And in embracing it, not only are you identifying it and neutralizing it, but you are now integrating that energy that used to be discordant. You are now integrating that into your energetic body, into your awareness. So you are returning it to love because you are love. So that is the technology that we can use to take a thought form that is incongruent with who we are. We identify it, we neutralize it, And then we return it back to love. So why not practice? Let's try. I invite you to gently close your eyes. Place your feet on the floor, flat on the floor. Your back is straight. Your hands are in your lap, facing downward, being grounded. And allow yourself to just feel supported in your seat, casting all of your weight in your chair or wherever you are sitting. And just take a deep inhale, followed by a full and lengthy exhale. Inhale deeply, and just exhale completely. Let's do it again. Inhale deeply, and exhale completely. Again, you're feeling supported. Feet are firmly planted on the ground. Back is straight. Hands facing downward in your lap. And just here. Here now. Now in your mind's eye, just see yourself standing outside of a door. You reach down for the door handle so that you can enter into your loving room. You turn the knob, you open the door, and immediately you recall a space of love. A place of just pure love. Maybe you envision a familiar sofa, a love seat. Maybe there's a clock on the wall that you recognize, or carpet, or the flooring. It could be a pillow or a television. This is your room of pure love. A space where you host guests, your family, just a place of peace and of love. Now, in your mind's eye, I want you now to welcome a guest. And the particular guest can be a thought that you may have been ruminating about, that had been on replay in your mind. Whatever the thought is, just envision that thought outside of your loving room. And as a gracious host, you go to the door and you welcome the thought in. And with a smiling face in this loving room, this loving place, offer that thought a seat. It's a thought form. So offer it a seat. And as you offer the seat, look upon it. Look upon the thought form and welcome it for stopping by. Now, As you observe this thought form, maybe it's a thought of fear. Maybe it's a thought of lack or limitation. As you would with any guess, see it. Just witness it. And now, as the wonderful and gracious host that you are, offer your guest the opposite quality. The opposite quality of its nature. So if it's a thought, again, of fear, offer it the quality of who you are, and that is power, and that is love. If it's a thought form of lack and limitation, offer it the quality that you are abundant and prosperous. And as you offer it, feel it in your body. Feel that you are powerful. Feel that you are love. Feel that you are abundant and prosperous. After all, this is your true nature. This is your awareness. This is your loving room. And whatever you focus your attention on this room, whatever you affirm in this room, it already is so. So feel love, feel powerful, feel abundant, feel prosperous. Now, as you allow these qualities to radiate from your being, feel them throughout your body, I invite you to thank your guest. Thank your guest for stopping by. And you stand and you extend your hands for a handshake. As you feel loved, as you feel supported, as you feel powerful, as you feel prosperous and abundant, you then reach closer and extend your arms. And embrace what was discordant. Embrace it with your affirmed self, the truth of who you are, as you are no longer in opposition or resistance. You have returned that discordant thought form into love. In your loving room, you stand affirmed. You stand in peace. You stand in alignment and in harmony with your true and eternal self. And now that you have reintegrated that energy into your body, I invite you to go and open the doors of your loving room. Because in this house, outside of the loving room, is the joy of the little children who are playing, who are grateful. Open the doors of your loving room and allow that childlike joy to enter. And that gratitude for welcoming a guest. Give thanks. Give thanks for your life. Give thanks for your existence. Give thanks for the love and the joy that is ever present in this state of awareness. I invite you now to begin to bring your awareness back into your body, gently moving your fingers and toes, and softly opening your eyes. We give thanks. If this practice was of utility, I invite you to continue to add it to your daily practice. And if you would like to do more practices like this is an open invitation to join us live during one of the quantum healing circles. We meet every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We would love to have your loving presence there with us. Continue blessings and have a brilliant day.